Hi, welcome to Keep Educating Yourself series. Air Navigation, Lecture 2, Concept covers position, direction, distance, altitude, and time. Measurement of distance on the surface of Earth. Distance is measured by the length of a line joining two points. The standard unit of distance for navigation is nautical mile. Nautical mile can be defined as 1 minute of latitude or 6076 feet. Kilometer is defined as 1 upon 10,000 part of average distance along the surface of Earth between equator and pole. Remember, 1 nautical mile is equals to 1.852 kilometers. Direction. It is the position of one point in space relative to another without the reference to the distance between them. Meridians are semi-great circles joining north and south poles. Passing through place is datum for measurement of direction. Meridians indicates north-south direction. Directions are expressed in three-figure group and measured clockwise from north. True direction, magnetic direction, cardinal points, quadrantal points. True directions are directions with reference to true north, written as 050 degrees true. Cardinal points north 000 degrees or 360 degrees. East is written as 090 degrees, south 180 degrees, west 270 degrees. Plot these on one paper and find out cardinal points. Thereafter, you draw quadrantal points northeast as 045 degrees, southeast 135 degrees, southwest 225 degrees, northwest 315 degrees. Magnetic directions are semi-great circles joining north to south magnetic poles. Variation. It is the angular distance difference between directions of true north and magnetic north at any point. Remember this. Variation east, magnetic least. East is taken as positive. Variation west, magnetic best. West, negative. Variation is not constant as magnetic axis of Earth changes constantly. Isogonals. Isogonal are line drawn on chart joining places having same magnetic variations. These charts indicate date to which variation values apply and annual changes. Example 1. True north is 70 degree, magnetic north is 60 degree, calculate variation. Variation is true minus magnetic north. So 70 degree minus 60 degree comes out to be 10 degree. 10 degree is positive, so it is 10 degree east. Variation is 10 degree east. Example 2. True north is 20 degrees, magnetic north is 60 degree, calculate variation. Variation is angular difference between directions of true north and magnetic north. So 20 degree minus 60 degree. It's minus 40 degree, minus we will take for west, so it is 40 degree west. Variation is 40 degree west. Direction. We use compass, and compass directions are a magnetic needle free from stay magnetic field points towards magnetic north. If such needle is placed inside an aircraft, the induced magnetic field inside the aircraft will induce magnetism inside the aircraft, and that will deviate north-seeking end to arbitrary direction called compass north. Compass north datum for measuring compass direction. Deviation. It is angular difference between magnetic north and compass north. Deviation east. Remember this. Compass least. East is taken as positive. Deviation west. Compass best. West is taken as negative. Again, deviation is not constant for a given compass. It changes with heading of aircraft, and varies from aircraft to aircraft. Example, compass north 70 degree, magnetic north 60 degree, calculate deviation. Deviation is angular difference between magnetic and compass north. So magnetic north 60 degree minus compass north 70 degree, answer comes out to be minus 10 degree. Minus value we take for negative uh, for west, so deviation is 10 degree west. Now one practice session. We have been given compass value 225 degree, variation 12 degree east. East is taken as positive, deviation 2 degree west. West will take as minus 2 degree. We have to find out magnetic and true values. So as we know, deviation is magnetic minus compass. Deviation 2 degree west is minus 2 degree equals to magnetic minus compass value, which is 225. So last column we can see magnetic value we have calculated 223 degrees east. Now variation is true minus magnetic. 12 degree east is 12 degrees positive is equals to true minus magnetic. Magnetic we have calculated 223. So true comes out to be 235 degrees east. This is another problem. Please note down the values of magnetic 178 degrees, true 175 degrees, deviation is 5 degree east. You have to find out compass and variation. Do yourself. Values are given below. Course, heading and track. Course is the intended horizontal direction of travel. Course is your desired intended path of travel to your destination. Heading is the horizontal direction in which an aircraft is pointed. Heading is the actual orientation of the longitudinal axis of the aircraft at any instant. Track is the actual horizontal direction made by aircraft over the earth. Aircraft projection over the earth. Now, true or desired course, if we add wind correction angle, it gives us true heading. In true heading, if we will add magnetic variation effect, it will give us magnetic heading. And in magnetic heading, if we will add the deviation, it will give us compass heading. It's a very useful, please remember. Now, this is a figure for explanation point of view. North is pointed. Then we have to move from Springfield to Shelbyville Airport. From Springfield to Shelbyville, this is our desired path. So course is 090 degrees. Now, actually how the aircraft is traveling, if we will project those lines on earth, it will give us track. So from blue circle Springfield, if we'll go to the aircraft, it's shown as 081 degree. So this is the track, actual projection of aircraft progress over the earth. Now heading, if we will include the wind effect and if we will measure from the longitudinal axis, we will find out the heading of the aircraft is 095 degrees. Now, what is the relative bearing and magnetic bearing? Magnetic bearing is from the magnetic north and relative bearing is from the nose of the aircraft to our intended position of arrival. So this is a very useful picture which will help us to clear the concept. Now, bearing. It is the horizontal direction of one terrestrial point from another. Bearings are usually expressed in terms of one of two reference directions. One is true north or true heading. True heading is the direction in which the aircraft is pointing. So, if true north is the reference direction, the bearing is called a true bearing. In other case, if the reference direction is the heading of the aircraft, the bearing is called relative bearing because it will be relative to the aircraft heading. Rumb line. So this is a picture. It's showing a straight line between Washington to Moscow, and great circle are drawn. So great circle makes an angle of 40 degree with the meridian near Washington DC, about 85 degrees with the meridian near Iceland in the middle, and still greater angle with the meridian near Moscow. So it means the direction of great circle is constantly changing as progress is made along the route from Washington to Moscow, and is different at every point along the great circle. Flying such a route requires constant change of direction. It is very tough for pilot. Still, it is the most desirable route because, as we know, greater circles are the shortest distance between any 2 points. The solution is rumb line or loxodrome. It is a line that makes the same angle with each meridian, called as rumb line. An aircraft holding a constant true heading would be flying a rumb line. Flying this sort of path results in a greater distance travel, but it is easier to steer. If continued, a rumb line spirals towards the pole in a constant true direction but never reaches them. The spiral formed is called a loxodrome or loxodromic curve. Please remember, only one rumb line can pass through 2 points. Equator and parallel of latitudes are rumb line as they cut meridian at 90 degrees. All meridians are rumb lines as they cut themselves at 0 degrees. Time. In celestial navigation, navigators determine the aircraft position by observing the celestial bodies. The apparent position of these bodies changes with time. Therefore, determining the aircraft's position relies on the timing the observation exactly. Time is measured by rotation of the Earth and the resultant apparent motions of the celestial bodies. Earth rotates on its axis, which results in day and night, and revolves around the sun, resulting in changes of seasons. The plane of Earth, which is inclined to Earth axis at about 66 degrees and 30 minutes. The purplish rectangle, it represents the plane of Earth's orbit around the sun, known as plane of ecliptic. The orange rectangle, which represents the plane of the equator, we can clearly see that the two planes are not coinciding. That is to say, the Earth is tilted with respect to the plane of ecliptic. Transit. The instant at which the heavenly body is directly over the meridian is known as transit. Day. A period of rotation of Earth orbit about its axis with reference to either a star or moon or sun or mean sun. Measurement of time. Sidereal time. The time interval elapses between two consecutive passages of star over same meridian. So time between two such transits is known as sidereal day. Apparent solar time. Time interval elapses between two consecutive passages of real sun over same meridian. As we know, Earth is elliptic and solar day is slow by 14 minutes. So it's a variable 23 hours 14 minutes, and somewhere it will be fast by 16 minutes. So apparent solar time will be variable between 24 hours 14 minutes to 23 hours 44 minutes. Now you see this. Solar day is 24 hours. However, with reference to a star, the observer's position changes. As it goes close to that, it takes less time to observe that the same star. So it takes 14 minutes less. Mean solar time, the time interval between two successive transits of imaginary sun over same meridian, it is constant 24 hours. For theoretical concepts, we have to assume some theoretical imaginary sun which is known as mean sun. Next, Greenwich Mean Time GMT. It is the time measured on Earth's 0 degree line of longitude or meridian. This runs from North Pole to South Pole, passing through the Old Royal Observatory in the London suburb of Greenwich. This line has been called the Greenwich Meridian, and it is from here that all terrestrial longitudes are measured and the world time zones are calculated. ICAO has approved the modern name UTC to GMT. GMT is also called Zulu or Z time. Local Mean Time LMT. Generally, if you are in a country east of Greenwich Meridian, your local time is ahead of GMT. For example, local time in China is GMT plus 8 hours. West of the Greenwich Meridian, local time is behind GMT. So, if at GMT 2400 hours, so China will be GMT plus 8 hours, New York will be GMT minus 5 hours. GMT remains constant throughout the year. Rising and setting of sun and moon for planning VFR are tabulated in almanacs. Times are tabulated in LMT for users. So zone time 15 degrees is equals to 1 hour. If Greenwich time is 1200 GMT, thus LMT at 15 degree west. So 15 degrees west means left of it, so you have to subtract 1 hour. And if it is 15 degree east, it is right of GM, so you have to add 1 hour. So sunset and sunrise due to refraction of sun. If the position of sun is sunrise or sunset, depression of sun is at 1 degree, sun is just visible to us. Then civil twilight, depression of sun is at 6 degrees, sea horizon clearly visible. Nautical twilight, 12 degrees depression of sun, sea horizon not visible. This is used in aviation. Thereafter, astronomical twilight, 18 degrees, absolute darkness. So international date line. The dividing line between East GMT and West GMT on the opposite side of the world to the Greenwich meridians is the international date line. This is a modification of 180-degree meridian running north to south through the Pacific Ocean. So, it's a very interesting concept. People traveling westward around the world must set their clocks back by 1 hour for every 15 degree of longitudinal crossed, as 15 degrees equals to 1 hour. They are traveling west, so they have to subtract 1 hour, and forward by 24 hours upon crossing the international date line, so they have to change the date. For anyone traveling eastward, they must set their clocks forward by 1 hour for every 15 degrees of longitude crossed and back by 24 hours upon crossing the international date line. So this is international date line, you can see in blue, Greenwich meridian in blue, west longitudes towards left hand side, east longitudes towards right hand side. So it has shown the time how 1 hours have been reduced towards left side, and 1 hours have been added towards east side. And if you are crossing international date lines, so you have to adjust your dates. Mean solar time. Time interval between two successive transit of imaginary sun over same meridian. It is constant 24 hours for theoretical purpose. So relationship of time and longitude. The mean sun travels at constant rate covering 360 degrees of arc in 24 hours. The mean sea transits the same meridian twice in 24 hours. So time in arc 24 hours is equals to 360 degree of longitude. 1 hour is equals to 15 degree of longitude. This we have already explained. We were using earlier. So we will further go down. 4 minutes will equals to 1 degree of longitude, and 1 minute is equals to 15 degrees of longitude. So remember, this is the last one. 1 minute is equals to 15 degree of longitude. This will help us in conversions. So converting angles into hours, divide degree, minutes and seconds by 15. Or if you have to convert hours into angles, multiply hours, minutes and seconds each by 15. What are Greenwich date and Greenwich mean time when local date is 1st April and local mean time is 0900 hours at longitude 135 degrees 15 minutes east? So we have been given degrees. We will convert this longitude into time. So degrees into time, remember we have to divide by 15. So 135 degrees 15 minutes east divided by 15, it comes out to be 9 hours 1 minute. Local date you write as 1st April, time is 0900. Simply for GD and GMT, subtract the conversion thing 0901. So 0900 minus 0901 comes out to be 2359, and as 0901 is greater than 0900, so you have to go into previous date. You have to change the date also. So it will be 31st March and 2359 hours. So what are local date and local mean time when Greenwich date 1st April, Greenwich time is 0600 hours, and longitude at which the point of observation is 122 degrees 45 minutes west. So convert degrees into time, divide by 15. So it comes out to be 8 hours 11 minutes. Subtract 8 hours 11 minutes from the GD and GMT. So 0600 minus 0811. So it cannot be. So 1st of April will become 31st March. Add 24 into 6. So comes out to be 30. So 30 minus 3000 minus 0 minus 0811 comes out to be 2149 hours. Now calculate the local mean time and local date of arrival at point B. Coordinates are 50 degree north, 132 degree east. Of flight of 8 hours duration from point A, coordinates are 50 degree north and 165 degree west. When local date June 4th and estimated time of departure 0700 hours from point A. So you just see the figure, point A June 4 and 0700 is the local mean time. How much time it will take to reach B? So first of all, we have been given flying time. So add flying time into this one, 0700 plus 0800. Thereafter, check the longitudinal difference, which is about 132 degree east and 165 degree west. So point A is 165 degree west and point B is 132 degree east. So if you will see the globe, the difference between these two will be getting added to 97 degrees. Convert this into hours, divide by 15. So it comes out to be 19 hours and 48. Now you subtract 4th June 1500 hours by 1948 hours. So it will be one day before 3rd June and 1912 hours. Please visit us again for new videos. Thank you for watching. Do share your views and subscribe for new videos. Good day.